अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, मैं हूं मोहम्मद तौसीफ और आप देख रहे हैं चैनल वॉच विद तौसीफ। बिगनर सीरीज में आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं और इस सीरीज में आपको सब बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में बताया जाएगा। इस सेशन में मैं बताऊंगा बेसिकली एंड्रॉयड स्टूडियो के एक प्रोफेशनल आईडी है जिसमें हम एंड्रॉयड ऐप की डेवलपमेंट करते हैं। जो लोग बिगनर्स हैं जिनको ये आइडिया नहीं कि एंड्रॉयड मतलब हम कौन सा टूल यूज़ करें एंड्रॉयड ऐप की डेवलपमेंट के लिए, तो उनके लिए सेशन बहुत ज़बरदस्त है और बहुत सारी टिप्स आपको एज अ बिगनर बताई जाएंगी कि आप एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट किस तरह से ले सकते हैं इसमें ना। और बेसिकली जेडीके के साथ इसको यूज़ किया जाता है और इसमें ये कि आप जिनके पास इंस्टॉल नहीं है वो सिंपली अपने ब्राउज़र पे जाके एंड्रॉयड स्टूडियो को इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं। तो आज के सेशन में मैं बताऊंगा कि हम एंड्रॉयड स्टूडियो पे प्रोजेक्ट किस तरह से क्रिएट करते हैं। स्टार्ट करते हैं। सबसे पहले एक प्रोजेक्ट के लिए क्या सबसे पहले हमारे पास स्टार्ट न्यू प्रोजेक्ट है, हम क्लिक करेंगे तो इस पे हमारे पास मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस है कि नो एक्टिविटी, बेसिक एक्टिविटी, डिफरेंट टेम्पलेट्स हैं जो कि इस टूल के साथ अवेलेबल है। तो एज अ बिगनर वी गो फॉर एम्प्टी एक्टिविटी, क्लिक ऑन नेक्स्ट। अच्छा, यहाँ पे सबसे पहले नेम, लाइक आप जो प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट करने जा रहे हैं, जो एप्लीकेशन बनाने जा रहे हैं उसका नाम क्या है, यहाँ पे आपको मेंशन करना होता है। फॉर सपोज स्टार्टर ऐप, पैकेज नेम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। ये आपकी यूनिक आइडेंटिटी होती है आपके प्रोजेक्ट की, आपकी एप्लीकेशन की। बेसिकली आपके पास कॉम डॉट उसके बाद जो भी आपकी कंपनी डोमेन नेम है यहाँ पे लिखा जाता है। और यहाँ पे एक स्टार्टर ऐप बेसिकली जो मेरा एप्लीकेशन का नेम है वो यहाँ पे आ जाता है। तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट पैकेज नेम होता है। और जब हम प्ले स्टोर पे एप्लीकेशन अपलोड करते हैं तो उसमें ये होता है कि इस आइडेंटिटी से वो रिकग्नाइज करता है। और बेसिकली हमारे पास यहाँ पे सेव लोकेशन, कहाँ पे हम अपना प्रोजेक्ट सेव करेंगे, यहाँ पे मैंने प्रोजेक्ट की सेव लोकेशन यहाँ पे आपको डिफाइन करनी है। और यहाँ पे वही नेम स्टार्टर का नेम दे दिया। अच्छा, पहले सिर्फ जावा पे कोडिंग होती थी एंड्रॉयड ऐप डेवलपमेंट की, लेकिन कुछ टाइम पहले गूगल ने इसको अलाउ कर दिया है कि जो कोटलिन जेट ब्रेन्स ने डेवलप की थी उसको ऑफिशियल सपोर्ट दे दी थी इसमें ना। तो बेसिकली कोटलिन और जावा दोनों लैंग्वेज यूज होती हैं अब एंड्रॉयड ऐप की डेवलपमेंट के लिए। डिपेंड करता है आप अगर बिगनर्स हैं तो आई विल रिकमेंड टू स्टार्ट विद जावा। So you will realize how you can optimize your code using Kotlin. और मिनिमम API लेवल हम यहाँ पे सेट कर दिया 4.4। और ये देखें यहाँ पे यू हैव रन ऑन अप्रोक्सीमेटली 98 पॉइंट ऑफ डिवाइसेस। अगर मैं अपना API लेवल API 90 सेट करता हूँ तो इसका मतलब है कि मेरे पास 98.1 डिवाइसेस पे ये मेरी एप्लीकेशन रन हो सकती है। So go for just click on finish. So up there application is like we can create new project, new Flutter projects, like import modules. So later on I will discuss about this. So if you have already a built-in project, so go for open. So you can choose this option when you have already a built-in project. You can open your recent project from these options. Like if we go for a project structure, just click on this. So here we have a multiple what is the SDK location, what variables are using. If you see, we are using the Android plugin version 3.50 and Gradle version 5.4.1. So this is the basic structure of this app. So go ahead and cancel it. Again, we go for some settings options. Whenever we want to change the setting of this ID, so go for it. Sometimes we need to clean our system or invalid cache restart, which is very important options whenever you are syncing your project and you have some cache, so you can delete your cache from this option. Here we have some other options: code, analyze, refactor, build. So build option in the toolbar is important because whenever you have a 10-year project and you want to go to build your application, so choose this option. So we have list of options. You can use build APK, analyze the APK, clean project is also available whenever you go for a build projects. So later on, I will discuss about these options, how we can use, and what are the situation when we use this option. So here we have run option. Whenever we want to run the applications and check what is the output of the development. So why I am telling about this option, because as a beginner you need to know why these options are available and what are the purpose of this option. Here we have VCS. VCS means version control system. That is very important when you go for open source contributions. You want to share your code onto GitHub, so you can use this option. And here's checkouts, whatever these options. So finally, we will discuss about the structure of application. Here we have a list of folders like app folder, graded scripts. Make sure you have selected Android. If you go for if you selected project, so you will not find these options, and select this Android. Here we have multiple folders, like subfolders in the app folder, like we have manifest and Java and resort. So these three folders is very important while Android app development. So you need to first understand that these folder, why these folder are available, and what are the functionality, what are the purpose of these folders. So if you go for a manifest, Android manifest, it is very important file, because whenever you install your application in Android device, so operating system first read this file, how application will work, which screen needs to be opened. So I have here we have a manifest file. If you study this manifest file, so we have icon. This icon is basically like whenever you install the application, you have a shortcut icon on your home screen. So So this icon is very important. So here we have label, starter label. This basically it is a label for the application name. Whenever you install your application, so you will see a name of the app. So this label is for that purpose. Round icon, basically whenever you install the application in latest API version, so round icon is very important because Google has changed its material design. So lotion icons could be round icon. Here we have set theme. What theme will be used? Here we have activity. The most important thing in this activity is basically a screen through which user interact. Like we have giving a name. Here we have an intent filter. Intent filter is very important while in advanced Android app development. So later on, I will discuss about this. So here we have actions category. We have already selected launcher. So I'm not going to depth of this topic. I'm giving a just brief introduction about this. So go for the second option. Here we have Java. In Java we have multiple packages like MainActivity, like we have Android test, and like we have an unit testing. So I'm not going to talk about this Android test and test. So this is used for the testing purpose. So our main focus is MainActivity. Here we have a class MainActivity. This is a basically Java class. This class is created by default whenever I created a new project. So first understand this class is MainActivity. This extends from app compact activity. Extend basically used for the inherent purpose in Java. If you are very familiar with Java language, so you can understand this keyword. Extend app compact activity. So basically MainActivity is our child class. So we extended our super class that is app compact activity. So here we have a multiple override options. So here we are using on create. This method is very important whenever you have to provide a layout to Java file. So here you can see we have given a layout activity main. Activity main is the XML file that is used for the Android app designing. So first of all, your MainActivity. So we have another resource folder. This resource folder is very important because we have drawable layout with tab values. So if we have images, we want to show an image in our application. So all the images put in the drawable folder. All the XML file, layout file put in the layout folder. Bitmap is basically a launcher icon that is using for Android applications. Here we have a values folder in which we have multiple XML files, colors.xml, strings.xml, and styles.xml. So if we click on this file, so we have a better view, so we can understand. Here we have a multiple colors that is by default. Color primary color, color primary direct color, and accent color. Later on, I will discuss about these colors, how we can use these color in our application, how we can use custom colors in an Android application. Here we have a string file. Whenever we have some text, So don't hard code the text in the XML file. Make a key, like we have an app name. App name is starter name that is using in the Android manifest. Here you can see string app name. So label is taking from the string file. Here we have the third one file, that is style file. Style file is very important when we have to style our application through some theme properties, and we can customize the theme using the style files. As you can see, they have already given a color primary, color dark, color accent. So finally, we have a very important app script. In app script, we have a multiple files, build.creator. So here I have a project level creator. In project level creator, so you have a build scripts, class path. Later on, we will discuss about this file and when we have to use this file and what are the purpose of this file. So what we have to add into this file. So we have another file, app level creator. So already you can see that there is a plugin. Here is the Android application. Here you can see that we have a compiled SDK version, that is 29, build tool version 29.0.2. So here you can see that here our application ID. Application ID is the unique identity for this app. Minimum SDK version that already mentioned when I create the project. So here we have a target SDK version. Version code and version name is very important when you are uploading your application onto the Play Store. Version code and version name. So whenever you have it depends on the functionality or feature you are changing in your application. So here we have dependencies. Dependencies part is very important whenever you have to use third-party application. So use dependency in this, like in this part like this. We have implementations, Android X, App Compact. So we are using App Compact dependencies in our applications. So this is by default. So you can also use third-party application by giving the dependencies in this section. So I have given you a brief introduction of Android Studio and what are the tools available and what are the files, what is the purpose of these files. Here we have let's start our basic layout designing. How we can design our layout using XML file. First we need to do here you can see there is linear layout. Whenever we create our XML file, so we have multiple views available in Android. So each view has its own purpose. Like here we are linear layout. Later I will discuss about this. What is linear layout? Why we are using here. So here is the basic view, text view. Here you can see that hello world is appearing on this screen. First, you need to understand the properties. Here you can see here is we have a layout width, that is wrap content. So width or height has two properties, that is wrap content and match parent. Wrap content means width of the content is according to the, like we have a hello world, so our width is according to the content. As much size is taken by the content, so the width is according to the content. Layout width, so we have options match parent. As you can see, there is match parent. Whenever I select this option, so you can see that the width of this view is completely matched to our screen. How much is screen size in width? This screen is covered. So here we have a text, like we have a hello world. So we have multiple properties we can change in this text view. Like I want to change the text color of the text view. Like here you can see color is changed. We can also change the size of this text by using the property of text size. Like I am using 16x. Here you can see the text size is increasing. So we have another properties, like we have a background. As in this chart, we see that we have a color file. So how we can use this color file? Just use @ name of file that we are going to use and choose the color primary. Here you can see that background of this text view is changed. So we need to change the text color. So I'm going to use white color. Right, it's completed. Here we have another properties, like we want to space in this text view. We want to give some space around this text view. So we use padding. I give 10 dp, so you can see that space around this text view is implemented. If you want space outside this text view, so we will use margin. Like I am using margin 10 dp. Here you can see that there is space outside the text view and inside the text view by using these properties. So we have understand the text view, how we can use text view in the XML file, what are the properties of this text view. So let's go, like if you want to align this text view, I want this text view should be in center. So here is the property layout gravity. If I take center, here you can see that center horizontal. If we take center vertical, here you can see that text view is the center of this screen. Like we have center vertical, you can also use center horizontal option. But I want to center this text view. So we have already discussed, we have a match parent. And I have a property like gravity use center. So you can see the text is in the center of this text view. Here we have another widget that is edit text, like match panel, app content. But you can see this edit text is not appearing in the view section. So you know that I am using linear layout. So basic properties of linear layout, whenever you need to align your charts either horizontal or vertical, so you go for the linear layout. As it is said and wrong, no orientation specified. So we need to specify the orientation. Like I want all my child views is in the vertical direction. So I'm going to use orientation vertical. Here you can see that there is text view. So here we have a property like hint. If you want to give some hint to user before entering the text, so we will use this in enter username. Here you can see that hint is appearing. So here we have another properties like give some margin with this text view. Like we can also change the text color of this text view. We can also change the text color of color hint. Like if I change the text color, so it will look like here. So you have seen that we have used the text view, edit text. So other basic view is button. Button is used whenever you need to take actions on the user, and whenever you need to file your event. So we use button that is step content. First go for change the color and change the text color. Here you can see the buttons are wearing right side. Background, text color, layout weight. Or you can also give some text, like I'm going to login. You can also change the layout gravity even center. Now it's looking good. As you can see that finally I have created XML layout. You can also change the background color of whole layout by using the properties like background. So I'm going to use another color that is black. Oh, it's so good. And you can see that we can change the texture of this. If you want to use like want to use image in your application, so we have another view that is image view, left content. So image view is used whenever you have to show image in your application. As I have already told you, whenever you have to use images, you have to paste all the images in the driver folder. So I am selecting image like go to result folder and driver folder and paste the image and give a name like whatever image name you want to give, demo image. Click OK. Here you consider. So how can we use this image in our image view? So here we have a property source. So we need to first give the name of this driver, and here we have a giving name image. Oh, so here you can see that image is available. So what we need to do, we need to specify some width or some height, like I am going to give 300 dp and going to give match parent. So we can change the text. In the text view session, hello world application, like first step. We can also use background property in the image. So what we need to do, some padding like 5 dp. This color is not good, so like another color that is good. Light, very light color, hollow blue light color. So we have multiple colors, depend on your selection, what are you using. So I'm going to use black color, look good. give some padding around this. And I'm going to just leave not giving a background color right now. So it is looking good. So finally, we have make XML. So this is the way you can design your layout using XML. In the design, here you have multiple views available, buttons, layouts. So how can we reference these views in our Java file? We need to give some ID, like I am giving ID to this edit text, edit name. Keep in mind, name of the ID should be readable, meaningful. We can also give ID to this button, like I'm going to button login. This ID is very important when you are going to reference this view into your Java file. Like I have given ID to these views. So let's go to MainActivity, and I'm going to go private. Like I have a edit text. I have given an entity name. So I have button. Like I have a button. Like I have given name like login. So we need to reference these views. So go ahead and use the built-in function find view by ID. It stores your ID editing name. Here you can see ID given to this view is showing here editing name. So I'm going to use reference button. So go ahead and check it out. Like we have a function source ID, and we are going to use value. So we can also change the text programmatically by using this function set text. Like I am changing code for say. So how we can handle whenever user click the button? How we can find the event? So here we have a button login. Here we have some listener. First, we need to set listener to any view. Set on click listener is available. So here we have an anonymous class of views. We need to call it view dot on click listener. Go ahead, just click on it, So here we have a built-in function on click. This function will be fired whenever user click on the button login. So whenever user click on this button, so we can also, whenever you need to show some text, so we use toast ink. Just type toast and click tab. So here we have a button login, click. So now we have understood how can we design the XML files, how can we design our layout, how can we reference the views in Java files. So linking of the XML or the Java file is told you. How we can use set on click listener. First of all, you have a multiple activities. We want to navigate from one activity to other activity. So in this case, we have available intent in Android application. So we have two types of intent. One is explicit intent and other one is implicit intent. So I'm going to use explicit intent. So we need to create one, and whenever you have to go to a selected file, so you can use this option. Just click on this option, so we go directly to this file. So you need to create another activity. Like I'm going to create another activity, like activity empty activity. So here you can see that, like I have given new activity. So Android Studio is very powerful. It will generate layout file automatically whenever I finish. So I am not going to make it as launcher activity. So don't check it. Just go ahead and click on this function. Finish. Sorry, button. So here we have created our new activity with some new layout file. What we need to do, first of all, we have to check these activities should be available in this manifest file. So how we can use the function, how we can change from main activity to new activity. So we will use intent for this purpose. Like I'm going to use intent is equal to new. Intent is basically a built-in class that it's using. So we are going to use like I'm going from this class to another class that is new activity. So dot class. Go ahead and just click Alt Enter, press Alt Enter. Don't forget to mention semicolon. This is very important in Java, as this is optional. This is not required in Kotlin. So Kotlin is very powerful. First of all, you have to, as a beginner, you have to go for the Java language. So here we have another built-in function that is start activity. So start activity is requiring intent. So I have created intent. I am passing this intent to this function. So what will be happen? Just cut this code from this here. Whenever user click button login, it will go to the new activity. Whenever user click button login, it will go to the new activity. So whatever canceling the new activity it will be shown to the user. So in the intent we have multiple functions. Like we can put extra string whenever you need to pass some data with this intent. Like if you want to pass the put extra, so you can use this option to give some like data and give data is whatever data you need to pass. You can use this function put extra. If we talk about the activity lifecycle, so we have multiple options, multiple functions that is built in. Here you can see the override methods. Here we have bunch of methods, bunch of functions available for this activity. So I'm not going to use all these functions. Just cancel it. So as we have already used on create function, so we have another function that is on start. On start. If we talk about the life cycle of the activity, so on start is called after the on create method. So here we have another function that is on resume. This is the activity life cycle. On resume, on restart, or here we have on destroy. Here we have another function that is on pause. So whenever this function is called, so this is basically your activity life cycle. You need to understand it first if you are beginner. On pause is called whenever you select home button from your application. If whenever you go to another activity, on pause function is called. On start function is called whenever you start a new activity. On resume function is called whenever after the on create method. So here we are on the start method. On destroy method is called whenever your activity is going to finish. So here we have another function that is on backpress. This function is called whenever you click back button from your device. So this function is called. So I have given the brief introduction about the activity lifecycle, how we can use the activity lifecycle in our activity. So we have multiple views. Depend upon the requirements of the application, which use is needed. So, so today I have given brief introduction of our Android application. If you are very beginner, if you uh, want to go for the Android application development, this session is very helpful for you. I am given all the basic concept. I have cleared all the basic concepts for the beginners, so you can easily start Android app development. Thank you for watching this session. So you can comment me if you have any suggestions, if you want to learn any topic. So thank you for watching this session.